Well, Leeds will consolidate their position at the top with another victory, but it will be a rarity here at Goodison Park. They've only won once here in 10 years. They haven't scored here in their last 5 visits. The forward 3 of Leeds, who aim to break that duck, have a combined age of 61, 14 years less than Watson and Goff together, who at 75 are the most senior central half partnership that the Premiership has ever seen. And it's another one of those Leeds youngsters that will pick it up with Kuehl, finding Ian Hart. Bridges unable to keep the long ball in. Nicely done by McPhail. Now Kelly. Bridges unable to adjust his run quickly enough. The idea was good from Smith and Bridges, but the execution didn't quite come off. Now Everton have a chance to break, and Hutchison urging Gemmell to play it in early. He didn't do that. But this is Barmby, now Collins, and it almost broke for Everton as it came back off John Collins as he broke forward after David Batty's interception. And Everton very nearly ahead in bizarre circumstances in the opening 2 minutes. Woodgate will be able to let it run through to Nigel Martin, and Don Hutchison came and committed himself. Martin just picking up a slight knock, but still managed to defend very ably. Ball. Woodgate committed himself and beat Hutchison. Good ball forward from Hart. Kuehl's pace will get in there before Watson. Early ball almost caused problems. Too long for Bridges at the near post and too deep for Smith at the far. And Harry Kuehl's pace causing early problems for Everton. He will try and unlock them again. Be an Everton free kick. Dermot Gallagher spotting an infringement against Scott Gemmell in the Everton midfield. Now John Collins, Campbell to his left-hand side, here is Kevin Campbell! Everton lead inside the opening 5 minutes! Kevin Campbell! Another Goodison Park goal for the striker who cannot stop scoring here on his home turf. Beautifully played in by John Collins. Kevin Campbell bending his run to stay onside. And then as Nigel Martin came out, he fired it past him with great aplomb. Early pressure on the Leeds United defence. And And is this record of 10 consecutive wins going to come to an end? Now Smith. Flag is up against Michael Bridges. Leeds equaliser counts for absolutely nothing. Flag shown very, very early against Bridges. Good vision again by Smith, and Leeds have already shown that they've got not just the pace but the mobility around the edge of the penalty area to cause problems to both Watson and Goff. Ten goals in 9 games at Goodison Park for Kevin Campbell. He really was the difference last year between a relegation scrap and mid-table obscurity. He's hoping this season to be the difference between mid-table obscurity and something much more positive. Now at the other end, chance for Leeds. Bowyer couldn't take that chance. Scored twice in the week. Couldn't make it 3 in the space of 5 days. Bowyer nipping goal side of Dave Watson and David Unsworth. Well, just the start that they were wanted. Everton may be stony-faced, but they'll be delighted to have broken down the league leaders' back line in the opening 5 minutes. Walter Smith also expressionless. We'll be hoping that the last 85 minutes will be as remotely as successful as the first 5. Kuehl and Bridges. Oh yeah, unable to take it in his stride, but Leeds have a corner. Hart's corner. Woodgate with a little header. Could have gone anywhere. Appeals for handball on the line. John Woodgate's header causing problems for the Everton back line. Problems that they managed to overcome. Woodgate in a more normal area of the pitch for him. Batty beating Collins. Bowyer is the player that's stayed down injured. Bowyer back on his feet as Kelly plays it forward. He's in no fit state to continue at the moment. Hutchison for Campbell. Now John Collins in the midfield. And Campbell is through again, and again the flag stays down. Barmby in support for him. Hutchison won't be able to get there before Radaby. And the ball going out of play finally gives Lee Bowyer a chance for some treatment. Weir. Barmby. Plenty of space on the left-hand side of the midfield for Everton in these early stages. Michael Ball will set the sights. Barmby was retreating from an offside position. And when the ball came across to him, the referee was forced to stop play. Batty felled by Gemmell. John Collins also in the thick of the action as they both converged on the England international. So far Leeds' approach play has by and large been quite disappointing. Quality of ball inside the penalty area, which has been one of their real strengths this season as they've launched this astonishing run of 10 consecutive wins since the last week of August. So far, hasn't been firing. And David O'Leary has been at pains to point out that Leeds, on occasion, haven't been playing as well as perhaps their results suggest. Good little flick by Hutchison. Barnby! Martin with the save. There's almost too much time for Everton as both Campbell and Barnby attack the same ball. And there have been early signs that Leeds, once more, aren't playing entirely at 100% today. Barnby's challenge on David Batty is in the over-exuberant category. No complaints from Batty, as you would expect. David O'Leary with plenty to think about. Here's Kuehl. Now Batty, cut out by Scott Gemmell. And Everton again will try and be able to build from deep. Barnby caught by Kuehl, who will likewise try and construct a counter-attack, but once more the understanding between the forward three of Leeds United was absent as Kuehl tried to play in Alan Smith. Batty's ball for Kelly, not quite kept in by the Irish international. Smith made no effort to pick the ball up from Batty. Well, Lee Bowyer was down on his haunches for the best part of 90 seconds, but seems as though he is going to be able to be fit enough to continue. Big relief for David O'Leary, who missed Bowyer when he was injured earlier in the season. Now Leeds again with a bit of space after good industry in the midfield area by Stephen McPhail. Bowyer switching the direction of play for Kuehl. Bridges and Smith in the centre! Michael Bridges equalises for Leeds United! Well, the quality of ball inside the penalty area has been disappointing, but there was nothing that Paul Gerrard could do about the first real quality ball that Leeds have provided. Wonderful ball by Bowyer. Kuehl saw that both Bridges and Smith had made the run towards the far post. And as Smith peeled away to act as the decoy, Bridges couldn't miss for his 8th goal of the season. Well, the expression may be the same, but inwardly I'm sure the feelings are just that little bit happier now that Michael Bridges has put Everton Gemmell. Well, the expression may be the same, but I'm sure inwardly David O'Leary is much, much happier after that Michael Bridges equaliser. Everton's very good start of the game been cancelled out by Leeds, slowly finding their feet here at Goodison Park. quite what was intended by McPhail. Gemmell. Hutchison finding Campbell, fouled by Woodgate, and Everton have a free kick in a dangerous position. Hutchison half thought about taking it quickly after John Woodgate's very firm challenge. And he does take it a little bit more quickly than the Leeds defence were expecting. Nigel Martin furious. Well, Don Hutchison scored a free kick from that sort of distance by taking it as quickly as that against Manchester United last season. And again, very nearly fooled the opposition defence with one of his trademarks. Watson getting it clear from Smith, who's less than half his age. Barmby. Radaby read the situation very early and came and took control. The throw will be taken by Davy Weir for Everton. Again looking for Hutchison. Leeds beginning to exert more authority in the midfield. Batty at the heart of everything. Just losing out to Everton again with Barmby now. Collins. Neatly done by John Collins. Campbell and Hutchison both ahead of him. Just turned into a blind alley of white shirts for a moment. This is Campbell though. Nigel Martin came and dealt with an awkward ball, simply because it wasn't what was expected from Kevin Campbell. McPhail gets the cry of man on as Nicky Barmby closes him down. Bowyer. Almost of secondary importance as Hutchison and Woodgate tangled. Unsworth in his relatively unaccustomed midfield role. Good vision, good distribution, and just that little bit of quality. Gemmell looks for Campbell, who again has got goal side of Radaby, not for the first time this afternoon. South African forces him wide. Ball just stayed on the field of play. Gemmell plays it in, looking for Hutchison, who wasn't sure where it was after it had come off him. And gives Leeds the chance to bring it away. Kelly looking for Bridges. And again, his pace will get in there before Richard Gough. Smith in the centre. Both Bowyer and Cure pushing forward in support. Now Gary Kelly. Too deep for Smith. Weir's clearance only as far as Cure's shot. Well wide in the end. Well, it was their best start in 10 years before they went to Highbury and were beaten 4-1 by a magnificent second-half Arsenal display. Walter Smith will be hoping that the side don't surrender another lead in similar fashion this afternoon. Defensive work was from Unsworth. Leeds have withstood the early pressure and are now the better side. Bridges score their equaliser. Watson beating Kuehl. Good challenge by McPhail to win possession back for Leeds, and Batty looks to play in Bridges early. Grimy surface here after a lot of rain on Merseyside gives Michael Bridges little chance of being able to keep that in. Kuehl. Neat passing footwork again. Smith with the shot, which was comfortably saved by Paul Gerrard. Paul Gerrard, who was magnificent at Arsenal last week in that 4-1 defeat. Don Hutchison trying his luck. It's no more than snapshots coming in at the moment from either side as they try and find what could prove to be the vital third goal of this first half. Martin's clearance intended for Kuehl. Neatly done by Dave Watson. I saw that Smith was stopping the direct ball back to Gerrard. Watson just playing it into space. Now Hutchison. Campbell feeding David Unsworth. 3 in the centre for Unsworth if he can provide a decent ball. Collins looks for Hutchison. Ricochet came off Lee Bowyer, who's really been in the wars in the early stages. Goff's header seized upon by Bowyer. Now Bridges, wonderfully done. Decent chance for McPhail. Blocked brilliantly by his opposite, number 14, Davy Weir. Fantastic piece of play by Leeds United breaking forward. They've got so much confidence in those sort of positions. McPhail just had that split second to decide what he was going to do with it. And in making that hesitation, gave Weir the chance to get the block in. Leeds corner taken by Hart, bounces all the way through. Gemmell with the clearance. Woodgate again coming close with a header. Ranaby now for Leeds. We're beginning to stamp their authority. They've got a real confident swagger about them when they get going. Batty. Neatly controlled by Smith. McPhail. The flag up against Bridges, who just slightly mistimed that run forward. Campbell attacking Gerrard's clearance. Bridges not happy with the decision. Goff takes it quickly. To no avail for Everton. Good challenge by Campbell. Well, after such a bright start, Everton taking the lead in the opening 5 minutes through Kevin Campbell, it looked as though they were going to be able to cause real problems to a Leeds United side who simply have forgotten how to lose. Unsworth sent sprawling. A throw rather than a free kick. Bowyer now. Again, good vision and awareness from Stephen McPhail. Hard shot, deflected by Dave Watson for another Leeds corner.
In the interests of your fellow
well, I doubt that he thought he was going to have a quiet afternoon, Dave Watson, but he has been involved in the thick of the action in the opening 25 minutes or so.
Please remain seated. Thank you.
Corner number 3. Ian Hart again looking for Woodgate. This time he didn't get any contact on it. Unsworth. Radaby. The ricochet falls nicely for Hutchison. Now Barmby. Weir's cross intended for Campbell. Dealt with by Woodgate. Still the pressure not off Leeds United as yet. Hutchison. Good run by Weir on the overlap. Can he get a decent ball over? He can. There's no one there for him. He gave Gary Kelly the chance to pull the ball down in a dangerous position and a couple of vital seconds to be able to deal with it. Good defensive work by the Irishman, who's struggled so much through injury. Kuehl unlucky that he didn't quite manage to dodge the ball past Weir. Good challenge by Smith on Watson, but not in the eyes of referee Dermot Gallagher.
Everton substitution number 12, Mark Pembridge, replaces
So Everton forced into an early change with Mark Pembridge coming on for Scott Gemmell in a straight swap in the midfield. Gemmell not recovering from a heavy fall under a challenge from Michael Bridges about 5 minutes ago. Campbell is dealt with by Radaby. A ball. This is Pembridge with a rare opportunity to play more than half a game. Great ball for Hutchison. Campbell! 2-1 to Everton! Well, they've withstood a torrid spell of Leeds United pressure. And Nigel Martin beaten for the second time. Both times by Kevin Campbell. That's 11 in 9 games at Goodison Park now for the prolific marksman, and Pembridge's first contribution was an incisive ball for Hutchison. Hutchison playing in Campbell, who took it deftly. And Everton find themselves ahead again. And more questions to be asked of Leeds United and their character, whether they will be able to once more bounce back from adversity. Well, Walter Smith will be hoping that this lead lasts more than 9 minutes this time. He's urging his players just to keep that concentration, keep their guard at the back. It did look as though the third goal of the game would be scored by a man in a white shirt. But no doubt about the artistry that Campbell's shown, breaking forward to get behind the two centre-halves. Barmby. Campbell again. Closing work was by Bowyer. Hutchison. Woodgate had to deal with that, otherwise Campbell was in for a hat-trick. Well, he's had great joy this afternoon just at playing off the shoulder of John Woodgate and nipping in between him and Radaby. Leeds United's defence, which under George Graham was so solid, almost to the point of boredom. He's been found out a couple of times this season. He's been found out in the opening half hour twice by Campbell. But usually Leeds can score enough goals that no matter how many they ship at the back, they can still win. Collins with the free kick. And that will be Everton's first score of the game after good work from Richard Goff in the opponent's box. Beating Hutchison to it at the near post. John Collins perhaps offering himself as a candidate for the Scotland cricket team. There's Pembridge. Collins again. Delivery from Pembridge. Lacked the quality of his first contribution since coming on. And John Collins will be disappointed with that as well. He's had to be content, Mark Pembridge, to take his place on the bench more often than not since his move from Benfica. But for a club of Everton's stature, a fantastic person to be able to call on. We were unlucky that the ball had just run out of play. Leeds struggling to get themselves back into the game after conceding that second goal. Beautifully done by Ian Hart. Now Kuehl. Watson goes with him. Despite the fact that perhaps it looked as though Dave Watson was labouring, he managed to make another very effective challenge. Again, John Woodgate is waiting for the set-piece play. And that is Woodgate, after Dave Watson's initial indecision. And Watson will be quite content that that only ended up as a corner. John Woodgate has had 2 or 3 good chances inside the vicinity of the 6-yard box. Goff and Watson up against it, perhaps. Bent in with more pace this time. Gerrard came out, didn't deal with it. Radaby tried the acrobatic. Acrobatic it would have been. He's only ever scored 2 goals in his senior career, Lucas Radaby. Here's Bridges. Good ball by Bridges for Smith. Well, again, the patient build-up for Leeds United sucked the Everton defenders out, and then a ball hit quickly behind them caused problems. Smith just unable to be able to flick the ball past Paul Gerrard. Radaby had to just nip the ball away from Nicky Barmby. Only seen enough from upstairs in the opening half an hour. David O'Leary's side have got an hour of the game to pull it round to record their 11th consecutive victory and consolidate their position at the top of the Premiership. Here's Kuehl. Bridges in the centre. Gerrard caught in 2 minds! And fatally caught in 2 minds! Harry Kuehl may not have meant it, but it's 2-2. And Leeds United have the rub of the green again. Well, Kuehl's expression says it all, as does that of Everton goalkeeper Paul Gerrard. Bridges had made the run in the centre. Kuehl just flicking the ball over Gerrard. And it's 2-2. And Gerrard, not just furious, but also a great deal of embarrassment there as well. Unsworth, now Hutchison. Will we see a fifth goal in this first half? Don Hutchison takes it past Kelly, but not Woodgate. Well, Woodgate has been involved in the thick of the action at either end of the pitch. Another player blossoming under the tutelage of David O'Leary. Well, he's complained a few times over this run of 10 games that perhaps Leeds have won without getting the performance that merited the victory. Perhaps he will also be feeling today that a 2-2 his side possibly don't deserve to be on level terms. Kelly makes the run for David Batty. 3 ahead of him. One of them is Lee Bowyer, but the push on Michael Ball gives a free kick to Everton. Campbell's little flick, looks for Hutchison, might break for Nicky Barby if he can bring it down. Hutchison! Oh, it's bobbled in! Everton are back ahead again! Another extraordinary Premiership game! Takes another twist and another turn! Don Hutchison will feel as though that has evened up the luck. Harry Kewell spectacularly flighted lob at one end, and Don Hutchison with a complete miss-hit grubber at the other. They both counted, and Everton's lead is restored. Well, Radaby went in bravely there. Hutchison's shot took a deflection off Radaby, and Nigel Martin can't believe it slipped past him. And again, Everton find themselves ahead for the third time in the opening 38 minutes of the game. Now Bridges, can Leeds get a third equaliser? Falls for David Batty. They won't do it like that. Don Hutchison hasn't been prolific in his time at Goodison Park, but that's a very, very important goal. Well played again by Harry Kewell. Smith ahead of him. Gary Kelly in support as well. Leeds turning defence into attack very quickly. 5 ahead of Kelly. One of them is Bowyer, beaten by a well-timed challenge from Michael Ball. Now Unsworth will be able to bring it away, despite the better efforts of Lee Bowyer. Weir. Good ball for Barmby. Radaby motors across towards the edge of the penalty area to make the challenge, and manages to maintain possession as well. McPhail's header picked up by Bridges. The interplay between Bridges and Smith didn't quite come off on that occasion. Well, it's been a fantastically engaging first half. 5 goals, all with a little bit of a subplot as well. And Leeds, having twice got themselves level, now have it all to do again. Bridges offside. Goff and Watson had just pushed forward. Bridges applauding the intent of the ball from Ian Hart. It's only the third time that Watson and Goff have played together, these two veteran centre-halves. They haven't been on the losing side as yet. The 2-0 victory against Sheffield Wednesday, following the season's curtain raiser here against Manchester United. Collins. Header by Hart. Goff gets it away. Unsworth can complete the clearance, but Radaby will be able to pick it up. Closed down by Collins, who's beaten him. Now Lucas Radaby has to get back in position as Collins plays it forward, looking for Campbell, but Woodgate had tracked across to stop the run being a decent one. Well, Dermot Gallagher's hardly had a difficult decision to make as yet. No yellow cards produced. No earpiece either. Seems to have fallen out, the communication with the officials on either side of him. Not working as far as Dermot Gallagher is concerned. We'll be glad that he's had very little to have to consult them about in the early stages. Unsworth's free kick. Goff with a little header. Almost broke for Hutchison. And then very calm defending by Lee Bowyer. Getting it back to his goalkeeper. Generous applause for Dave Watson as the old warhorse gets it clear. The sole survivor of the glory days at Goodison Park. Batty. Leeds trying to get themselves back on terms to avoid a little bit of the sting from the half-time team talk from David O'Leary. They might be able to do so after the foul by Watson on McPhail gives them a free kick in a promising position. Dave Watson will be hoping that Ian Hart can't produce the type of finish that has punished so many defences from this side of position. Bowyer and Bridges also in close attendance as Paul Gerrard just makes sure that the wall is in the right place to stop the powerful left-footed drive from Hart. Hart it will be. Straight into the wall, which did its job. Goff trying to get the second ball clear, and Hutchison hoiking it out of harm's way. Anyway, we'll do as far as Don Hutchison is concerned from that kind of position. Bridges. Good challenge by Unsworth. Campbell, who's been on a hat-trick since inside the first half hour, will try and construct something. Unsworth has continued his run forward, and Gary Kelly stops him getting any further forward. Picked up by Weir. Hart's second clearance better than his first. It might bounce awkwardly for Goff. 2 odd stages showing exactly how it's done. Campbell. Unsworth in support for him. Bambi, the man at the far post. Ian Hart very wary of his presence, forced to concede the corner.
One minute of added time, 1 minute of added time.
Bambi's corner, almost too deep for Radaby to be able to clear. Collins' effort will only trouble the spectators. Lived up to everything that was expected of it pre-match. Everton's good home record, Leeds good wherever they play. Free kick taken by Hart. Good header back across. No one there to seize on the opening provided by Harry Kewell. It's fired back in towards Woodgate. Just too long for Kewell. The Leeds unable to take advantage of a half chance that they managed to fashion for themselves inside the opening 60 seconds of the second half. Neatly done by Nicky Barmby. Now Kevin Campbell. Unsworth has pushed forward. John Collins to his right. Still David Unsworth. Ian Hart stopped it getting through to Collins. Radaby able to get it away. Good ball by Bowyer for Kewell. Ian Hart. I want to thank Lucas Radaby for that ball to him. Now Pembridge beats the challenge of Bowyer. Caught by Jonathan Woodgate, but referee allows play to continue. And continue it does with Kevin Campbell. Played in by Nicky Barmby, he returns the favour, and it just loops over the bar. Well, Nicky Barmby set up the game's decisive goal so far for Don Hutchison. Campbell almost managed to play the ball back to Barmby. Radaby's block good enough to take it away from the frame. Everton with only their second corner of the game. Header from Kewell. Ian Hart can affect the clearance for Leeds. Ball had already gone out of play before Dave Watson tapped it into the hoardings. And it'll be Everton that will have a throw inside the Leeds United half. Radaby. Comfortably done by Weir under a little bit of pressure. Pembridge able to bring it away for Everton. Only Hutchison ahead of him. Pembridge continues his run. Campbell leaves it for Collins, who spotted Barmby in space, but Gary Kelly's there first. Seized upon by Pembridge. Hutchison wants it played early. Couldn't get it over Radaby. Now Barmby. Disappointing cross in the end from Nicky Barmby. Well, when you consider that he's been in a defence which is considered, well, when you consider he's been in a defence which has conceded 3 goals this afternoon, Lucas Radaby has made some vital interceptions, at least to stop that ball finding Don Hutchison. Hutchison. Everton have started marginally the brighter in the second half. The referee didn't help Nicky Barmby as he tried to race onto that one. Radaby again able to get it away. Now Unsworth, who's playing on the right-hand side in the second half. Decent cross by Weir. Good defensive work by Gary Kelly, covering the run of Hutchison to stop him being able to bear down on Nigel Martin's goal. Well, Everton have started each half very, very brightly, but they haven't been able to break this Leeds defence in the first 5 minutes of the second half, as they did in the first 5 minutes of the game. No foul by Batty on Barmby. Ball with the throw. Hutchison with the dummy, which gave Woodgate the chance to clear it, and then a crunching challenge between Radaby and Campbell, which leaves both of them sprawling. Both Radaby and Campbell back on their feet after a very, very firm challenge. Everton will have the free kick. Laid off for Don Hutchison. Well, I don't know whether Nigel Martin didn't see it too late, with Campbell running across the trajectory of the ball, but he needed a last gasp effort to tip it past the post. Everton keeping up the pressure. Collins with the corner. Back in by Unsworth. Hutchison! Well, he's come very, very close to doubling Everton's lead with his second of the game. The first may have been a miss hit, but if that had gone in, there would have been no doubt whatsoever about the quality. Wonderful ball by Unsworth on the turn. Hutchison watching it dip over his shoulder. Unlucky to fire it wide. He started brightly in this second half, having pushed over to the right-hand side of midfield. David Unsworth almost providing Everton with a 4th goal. Radaby has got Campbell making life difficult for him. Now he's got a bit more space to be able to stretch those long legs and bring the ball away. He'll think twice about continuing his run upfield. It's Hart plays in Bridges. First real opportunity this second half for the Leeds forward 3 to be able to make some headway, although none of them could get on the end of David Batty's ball forward. Pushed by Bridges on Watson, he's punished. It will be a free kick Everton's way. Well, Nigel Martin has been beaten 3 times in one game in this history-making run for Leeds United. That was at Coventry, when Leeds scored 4 to get the win. Leeds are going to have to score at least 4 to get the 11th straight victory in this run, after Martin's been beaten 3 times inside the first 45 minutes. Unsworth. Now Collins. Unsworth again with Barnby making the late run. And real problems for Martin with neither Campbell nor Hutchison in close enough attendance to the flick on. Bridges does well to keep it in. Smith ahead of him. Plenty of space for Bowyer on the far side. Ball stops it getting to him straight away. But Bowyer's persistence still saw him win the battle. Now David Batty, as Leeds try and probe their way back into the game. Still without a shot to their name in this second half. Don Hutchison shows the spirit that the Everton players have had in the opening hour of the game, breaking another move down. Now Smith appeals for handball as he breaks forward. The referee spotted it. Alan Smith not quite enamoured with the decision, I think it's fair to say. Even some of the players that he's playing against are more than twice his age, Alan Smith, let alone referee Dermot Gallagher, who I'm sure will be glad that he could only lip read rather than hear what Smith was calling him. Bridges now for Leeds. Smith outside him. He's got McPhail in support as well. This is he. Decent ball. Good break for Kuehl. All for Lee Bowyer! The angle always becoming increasingly tight for Lee Bowyer. Being forced wide by both Ball and Goff. Lee Bowyer unable to get his third goal of the week. Ball with a throw. Hutchison trying to roll the shoulder of Radaby. Goff puts it back into the fray for Everton. Hasn't had the electrifying action of the first 45 minutes, but still very engaging as Leeds play a more patient game in this second half to get themselves back into it and defend that little bit deeper to stop the gaps appearing at the back. Collins was unlucky that he couldn't quite fall over the ball and regain possession. Batty spots the run of Smith. Watson's back pass just good enough. Now Hutchison will chase. Will he get past Radaby? Hutchison goes down. Referee has a look and allows play to continue. A contentious decision. Well, Radaby had stumbled as the ball was played over the top. Dermot Gallagher had a long, hard look and confirms his decision to Mark Pembridge. Definite contact made by Radaby on Hutchison. He was through on goal. Now Campbell's through on goal. Looking for a hat-trick, Kevin Campbell. Unable to take the chance. Well, Everton beginning to step up the pace and cause the problems to the Leeds United defence that they suffered in the first 45 minutes. McPhail looking for Bridges. Bridges looking for a Leeds equaliser and almost finding it. Well, that challenge by Radaby on Hutchison has certainly livened the crowd up. They feel that a great injustice has been done and that it should have been a red card to Lucas Radaby for hauling down Don Hutchison. But Dermot Gallagher and his fellow officials who aren't using the artificial equipment in this second half, the communication lines between the referee and the two assistants have gone down. I wonder what the view of the assistant referee would have been. Smith furious with the decision. He feels as though, at the very least, it should have been a free kick. And his side playing against 10 men. Campbell, Hutchison, and this will be a free kick, Everton's way. It's the ironic applause of the Everton fans. Nigel Martin with more work to do. This is a better range and a better angle for Don Hutchison. John Collins also over it, and it will be Hutchison to leave it, in fact, for Collins. Not that close in the end.
This is a club announcement. This is a club announcement.
Well, the referee and his assistants have dispensed with the communication equipment that is now de rigueur for Premiership officials. I wonder if that would have made a difference when Don Hutchison was brought down by Lucas Radebe on the edge of the penalty area, if Dermot Gallagher had been able to consult with his assistant. Hart's ball looks for Bridges. Goff gets it away. Bowyer. Batty brings Hart into it, but with Hutchison so close, he had to change the angle and knock it back towards Lucas Radebe. Bowyer. Now Bridges, twisting and turning, deceiving Ball and Pembridge. But still, there's no way through that solid Everton back line. And David Unsworth, Hutchison ahead of him. Woodgate and Martin will be able to mop up for Leeds. McPhail, good ball for Kuehl. Smith makes a great run in the centre. Kuehl tries to pick him out, but the cross, which was fired over rather than an attempt to place the ball onto the head of either Bridges or Smith, couldn't find either of his strike partners. Bridges found no way past Dave Watson. Radebe and Hutchison clash again. Unsworth now. Bowyer for Leeds. Looks for Bridges. Kuhl now is in the centre with Bridges wide on the left-hand side, and the referee has angered the Everton fans further by giving a foul against Davy Weir. Bridges, the player that went down. And he'll take his place in the centre as Ian Hart will try and supply another goal-making cross. Woodgate has caused constant problems whenever he's been in that penalty area. Can Leeds get their third equaliser of the game? Bowyer it is with it. Headed away by Michael Ball. Kelly. Cut out by Barnby. And the momentum lost for Leeds United. Clearance not going where he intended, but Batty will try and rescue the situation by going in firmly on Pembridge. Beautifully turned by Harry Kuhl to deceive Michael Ball. Still Kuhl goes, and still Kuhl tries his luck. What a goal that would have been! Harry Kuhl with a magnificent turn, a magnificent run, and the shot not quite magnificent enough. Ball was left trailing in his wake, and Harry Kuhl beat Gerrard with a shot and could barely have come closer. Stumble by Batty might cause problems. Hutchison and Radaby tangle again. This time it's an Everton corner. Radaby, the player left arguing the decision. Hutchison's corner, easy for Martin. It caught the breeze on its way across and took it out of the path of Kevin Campbell. Barnby tricks his way past Kelly, Bowyer and Batty. Now finds Campbell. Nicky Barnby again. Hutchison back to him. Campbell in the centre. Delivered too deep. Well, as well as being a game of outstanding quality, there have been some great individual contributions and moments of magic. Nicky Barnby, some marvellous skill. Leeds make a change. Darren Huckabee coming on to replace Alan Smith. And he's got about a half of the second half to make an outstanding contribution. Smith not on the score sheet today. Huckabee. Now Bridges. Oh, brilliant goal! Michael Bridges with the third equaliser of the game. His second. Leeds back on terms in sensational style. Well, no sooner had Darren Huckabee come on the pitch than he made a telling contribution. Bridges' contribution even more telling. Not a bad first touch for Darren Huckabee, setting up Leeds' third goal, and it's 3-3. Huckabee again. Couldn't get it across the Bridges for a second time, but it will be a Leeds corner. Ian Hart with it. Too deep for Radaby, and Goff can clear. Batty and Hart almost leaving proceedings to each other, but this is Hart. Bowie's little flick wasn't read by Huckabee. Everton can break. Hutchison. Can Everton get themselves ahead for a fourth time? Or will Leeds be able to salvage the situation after being 3-2 down for more than half an hour? Come back to win. Kuehl. Everton clearing with Collins. Campbell will chase. Like Bridges, he's on a hat-trick. Nigel Martin can make the save. Flag is up. Bridges squandering the chance, but it wouldn't have counted. Watson. Good header by Radaby. Bridges. McPhail plays it over the top for Darren Huckabee. And again, Leeds midfielders sprint forward to be in support for him. Huckabee brought down by Ball. And that will be the first lecture from the referee, if not the first yellow card. Well, now the Leeds are back on terms, it makes that decision by Dermot Gallagher not to award a free kick against Lucas Radaby for the foul on Hutchison, and not to send the South African off. Even more of a talking point. Paul Gerrard happy with his defensive setup. Everybody within 10 yards of his goal. As Hart swings it in! Gerrard had to take responsibility himself to stop Leeds getting ahead. Wonderful strike by Hart, who's becoming a great exponent of free kicks from either side of the penalty area. But for the time being, it remains 3-3. Hart with it again. Woodgate's header! Leeds ahead for the first time in the game! And John Woodgate, who had 3 chances in the first half that he couldn't take, has finally been able to convert. And it's Everton 3, Leeds 4, and the history-breaking run continues at Goodison Park, does it? Wonderful delivery from Hart. Woodgate's header, kissing the bar on its way past Gerrard. And Everton, who've led for the vast majority of the game, are now 4-3 down. Well, that would have been an own goal of some proportion from Lucas Radaby as he got the ball clear past Hutchison. That's been a fantastic battle all afternoon. Collins corner. Hutchison goes up for it. Edge of the penalty area. Barnby will try and put the pressure back on. Good break for Ball. It was late challenge coming in on him. Bowyer catching Pembridge. Bridges stumbling. Leeds losing possession in the process. Hutchison and Kevin Campbell. Woodgate with as good a contribution as that end as his header at the other end seconds ago. Now the pace of Huckabee. Watson is labouring this time. Huckabee's got Bowyer in support. Here's Lee Bowyer, tries to fashion the angle for himself. Unable to do so under pressure from Golf, Watson and Ball. Well, Lucas Radaby's tackle whether it was legal or not. Certainly stopped a fourth Everton goal. That would have made it 4-2 at the time. Now with Leeds 4-3 up, it makes that contribution even more controversial. Bowyer saw the run of Huckabee. Watson had to volley it clear, but the offside flag was up against the Leeds United substitute. Just too much pace on the flick from Hutchison. McPhail. Here's Darren Huckabee. Can Leeds seal it with Huckabee? Not quite. Bridges on a hat-trick, unable to get the slight deft touch that was needed to make it 5-3, thanks to some brilliant defending from Richard Gough to deny both Huckabee and Bridges. Well, they were 3-2 down for a long time. Now they're 4-3 up, but still David O'Leary won't even allow himself a smile. It looks as though he's run through the whole gamut of emotions in this game. Here's Huckabee. Couldn't get past Weir. Gerrard's clearance falls straight to Kuehl, who's got past Weir. Three in the centre. One of them is Huckabee. Somehow Dave Watson manages to spring out a leg to get it away. Hutchison squandered only a half chance, but a half chance it was. Well, Tommy Johnson is finally about to make his Everton debut. Bowyer. Good challenge by Ball. Still Bowyer will be able to bring it away. Pembridge tangles. Well, Tommy Johnson has been on loan from Celtic for a while now at Goodison Park, but he's had to wait patiently for his first introduction into the Everton first team. Now Johnson gets his chance with 12 minutes to go to try and make himself an instant hero. Michael Ball is the man that will come off, and Everton will chase the game with three centre halves for the closing stages. Bowyer. Bowyer made a good run for Ian Hart. Here is Lee Bowyer. Bridges in the centre on a hat-trick. Still Lee Bowyer goes. And Gary Kelly invited to join the attack. Skips round Barnby. They left the foot in. It'll be a free kick Leeds way. All smiles from Gary Kelly. Hasn't been a yellow card in the game from Dermot Gallagher. Wonderful footballing occasion this has been. This is what makes the Premiership the best league in the world. Hearts free kick. It'll flick on. Cause no problems at all. The only problems it did cause were for John Woodgate, who's now got to sprint back as Everton will try and break. Kelly on the end of the long ball hit in by Hutchison. Unsworth. Problems for Nigel Martin! So nearly a carbon copy of Leeds' second goal scored by Harry Kewell. And Kewell flighted one very optimistically in from that left-hand side. It dipped over Paul Gerrard and in. David Unsworth almost managed to repeat the trick with an overhit cross, which caused Nigel Martin all sorts of problems. Johnson. Penbridge evades Bowyer. This is David Unsworth. Hutchison was arriving. It was too long for him and too long for the sliding Tommy Johnson. Watson's free kick. Good header by Radovy, again beating Hutchison. Penbridge almost managing to set Campbell away with the help of a Leeds deflection. Gary Kelly can clear for Leeds, but he can't keep it in play. Everton beginning to step up the pressure again. Good ball for Darren Huckabee. Huckabee held off by Weir, still manages to keep his feet. Couldn't beat Watson. And Kewell couldn't find a way through either. Hearts free kick. Weir can get it away. One back by Batty. Offside flag is up against Michael Bridges. Very disappointingly, this game's only had 7 goals so far, no sign of an 8th. Bridges brings it down neatly. Now Bowyer, Leeds are content to put the ball into open spaces by and large as time ticks down, and Paul Gerrard will be very, very disappointed with that clearance, which he acknowledges straight away as being not one of his best. 12 months months ago. Paul Gerrard frozen out of the picture here. Batty too physical in the midfield. Unsworth's free kick, knocked away by Radaby. Now Tommy Johnson. Hutchison. Beaten by Radaby again. Harry Kewell will be able to bring it away. Skips round Weir. Leeds have got some options ahead of Harry Kewell. One of them's Huckabee. Bowyer's making a run from deep towards the edge of the penalty area. Huckabee running at Watson, who again defended steadfastly. Radaby stumbled, not picked up by either Hutchison or Campbell. Woodgate and Bowyer can get the ball away. And again it's Harry Kewell. Can Leeds score a fifth? Not on this occasion. Lovely flowing football by Everton as they chase this equaliser. Unsworth unable to supply a quality cross. But for the first time in the last 5 minutes or so, Everton have got the ball deep inside Leeds territory. Attacking with purpose now. Cambridge's ball gave Unsworth a little bit too much to do. Started on the left, moved to the right-hand side of midfield. Now at left back in place of Michael Ball, who went off to allow Tommy Johnson and Everton debut as a substitute. Unsworth in the thick of the action again. Clearance was by McPhail. Watson felt as though he was pushed by Bridges, who will try and take the throw quickly. Kewell makes the run for him. He was disappointed that Bridges didn't elect to hurl it upfield towards him. Is there to be another twist and another turn in this remarkable contest, which Everton have led 3 times and seem set to lose? Campbell, Barmby makes the run, ahead of Pembridge, whose ball, again, was very, very disappointing at the vital moment for Everton. It's a great run by Nicky Barmby. He got himself free of the defence. Pembridge couldn't pick him out. Here's Bridges, still on a hat-trick. Goff gets it clear. Bridges again, trying to turn his way past Watson. Another vital interception by Richard Goff. And John Collins, his compatriot, can bring it away. Barmby. Still Everton seem to have the self-belief that they can get themselves their first equaliser to tie it up at 4-4. But can Harry Kewell win it for Leeds? Kewell to Bridges. Michael Bridges on a hat-trick. Wonderful save by Gerrard. Watson can get it away. Another free kick to Leeds. Weir, the guilty party on this occasion, on Darren Huckabee. Paul Gerrard just telling Tommy Johnson exactly where he wants him. The one-man wall that this free kick is facing. Bowyer will win the corner. He's got Weir with him, still Harry Kewell. Everton can bring it away. Kewell a little bit frustrated. Will be a Leeds free kick though, and the clock ticks down. Inside the final 30 seconds now for Everton to salvage something. Pembridge, Barmby, nice Richard Goff that's pushed forward to support the attack. David Unsworth, Goff ahead of him. Woodgate comes out, and the referee gives a free kick Everton's way. 2 minutes of added time for Everton to get an equaliser. John Woodgate, scorer of what seems destined to be the winning goal. Has he given away a free kick which can give Everton a lifeline? Unsworth with it. It's 4-4! Davy Weir with the equalising goal for Everton. And there has been another final vital twist in a weekend of extraordinary ups and downs for all the championship contenders. Unsworth's free kick. Weir climbed the highest, and the man that missed a simpler chance than that to give Everton an injury time win against Coventry has given them a point against Leeds. And Woodgate, whose winning goal, and Woodgate, who looked as though he'd scored the goal that was going to extend this famous Leeds run to 11 games, has given away the free kick, which has cost them that extension to history. Goff. Well, Leeds United's record-breaking run comes